Hello folks, I'm Dan, back here in the reloading room today. Little project you saw when I did the quick shop tour, and I briefly touched on it, is I've got a total of 5 Lubrisizers here, and 2 of them are going to be rebuilt and hooked up to PID control. The last 2 that I've got to do, I'm still waiting on the PID controllers, but I've been working on the heated bases for them. And I actually built 3 heated bases because I had a foot of material when I was at the metal store yesterday. Why, they had some drops there that, and so I got a foot of it. So I made 3 of them. I only need 2. 2 of them are set up for either newer style Lyman or RCBS Lubrisizers. The third one, which is this one right here, is set up for an old style Lyman 45 that I'm going to rebuild. And once we get into that, I've actually already started on it. But once I get into that rebuild, why, I'll give you a link up here in the description someplace to follow along with that rebuild. So anyway, this is the base for that one. What I've done is my plates are 4x4, and these are 5/8 thick, which works just perfect for these. Drilled my mounting holes and countersunk them, which are on 3-inch centers. I've got a 3-inch bolt pattern for the outside, and then the Lubrisizer bolt pattern, and I matched that. The old Lyman 45 is kind of an oddball size. The newer styles for both the RCBS and the Lyman are kind of a universal. They're 2-inch spacing between, works just fine, and 2 inches back from the front. And then on one side, and I do mine on the right-hand side because that's where the controllers and everything sit, I've drilled a 1.25 inch deep hole that is just under a 1/2 inch deep. The heaters that I use, they sit in there. I put a little dielectric grease on them to hold them when I fit those up, and then I'll probably put some high temperature silicone to hold them in. And then I drilled and tapped a 1/4 hole for the temperature probe, 1/2 inch deep, and they're threaded 1/4. And if you drill them too deep, why, then they don't bottom out. The probes don't bottom out, and they tend to float in there a little bit. And I add a little dielectric grease in there too. I think it just helps them transfer the signal a little bit better, so you get a better temperature reading. And those go in there, and then your temperature probe just threads into the side of it, just like that. And I won't bother to take them out of the packaging until I hook up the PID controller to them, and then we'll set them to the right length and put them in position. So that'll be for the Lyman heater, and I've got 2 more to do. We at least want to do this one because we're going to set this 45 in place, or the plate for the 45. When I hook up the PID controllers to these, when I go to final routing the wires, I will probably drill this base plate for a 1032 screw. That way I can put a wire clamp on the outside, and I'll just put a socket head cap screw or a button head cap screw in from the bottom to hold that in position. That way I can route the wires a little bit. On the RCBS that I did, I drilled and tapped a hole in the side of the plate. You can do them either way. The temperature controllers themselves, I have done them this way, mounted them in the base plate. On the RCBS, I mounted it into the side of the casting. I don't know if you can see it back here in the actual Lubrisizer casting. The reason being, I think you get a more accurate reading, or you get a faster reading back off of it directly into that base, because the aluminum will heat up faster than the rest of the Lubrisizer will. So there's going to be a little bit of a time lapse if you mount it in the aluminum plate. The star heated base that I ordered that heated base originally, and it came with it installed in the plate. I don't know that it makes a big difference. Like I say, there'll be a little bit of a time lag, but it's not gonna matter as long as you let your Lubrisizer warm up. But they will go on there just like that. This plate for the old 45 has been relieved on the front. I machined away part of the aluminum itself, and then I ground a relief on there, and it's just because of the casting for that 45 Lubricizer's got some flash and some protrusion out there, so I went ahead and just put it into the base rather than grinding it off of the Lubrisizer itself. I won't permanently mount the heater yet until we get ready to hook everything up. But there's a heated base. You do the same thing with your Lymans and your RCBSs. They're an inexpensive way to have a heated base on your Lubrisizer. And with the PID controller set up on them, they're really nice to use. So anyway, I'll go ahead and mount the other Lyman up and get the plate mounted on it to the same stage as this one is. And I'll show you some still shots of that. Any comments you've got for me, leave below in the comments section, and we'll certainly answer them for you. So if you find these useful, why, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Hopefully there's some information here you can use for your reloading room. And thanks for taking the time to watch.